Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we will continue on with Sri Radha Kripa Kataksha stavaRaja. We'll start with text 6. Asheshahava bhavadhira hirahara bhushite prabhudashata kumbha kumbha kumbhe kumbha sustani prashastamanda hasya churna purna shokya sagare kada karishya sihamam kripa kataksha bhajanam. O goddess, decorated with a pearl necklace of bold amorous hints, O goddess as fair as gold, O goddess whose breasts are great golden water pots, O ocean of happiness filled with the scented powders of gentle smiles, when will you cast your merciful sidelong glance upon me? Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swaminiti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So text 6 of Sri Radha Kripa Kataksha stavaRaja is specifically Lord Shiva is glorifying the beautiful complexion and some of the features of Srimati Radharani. So here, before we start, I'd like to just read one small passage where from Sri Ujjwala Nilamani. This is a very wonderful book written by Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, and there Krishna himself is glorifying Srimati Radharani by saying that, O Radhe, the locks of your hair curl beautifully, and you have a lotus-like face with elongated, restless eyes. Your chest is adorned with lovely, large and firm breasts. Your waist is attractively slender. Your head is bowed slightly in modesty, and your fingernails are like rows of jewels. Your beautiful form is a festival of elegance and sweetness that crushes the vanity of the three worlds. So how Sri Krishna himself is glorifying the beauty of Srimati Radharani is really worth noticing here. Every word that Sri Krishna is using, in glorifying Krishna, the other way around, that Krishna is using in glorifying Srimati Radharani, especially the last line, that your beautiful form is a festival of elegance and sweetness that crushes the vanity of the three worlds. I mean, the beautiful form being a festival of elegance. Just imagine the choice of words, that Krishna is using for glorifying Srimati Radharani and her elegant beauty. that Srimati Radharani, her features are so beautiful, and she is meant only for the enjoyment of Krishna. And therefore, each and every limb of her body is perfect, and it gives supreme pleasure to Sri Krishna. You know, we have heard of the festival of chariots. We're just having Ulta Rath also. This is Rath Yatra season going on. So everywhere we see, you know, so many posts about Rath Yatra. So this is the festival of chariots. Then there's the festival of Janmashtami. There is Sri Radhashtami. But have you ever heard of a festival of elegance? The festival of elegance is in the personification of Srimati Radharani. That each and every bodily limb of Srimati Radharani is such, you know, forms of elegance that it is a festival to the eyes. And what is the purpose of festivals? Why do we do festivals? We perform festivals so that we can relish the mood, we can dive into the, like say for example Rath Yatra. When Rath Yatra festival is coming, we are all so busy, you know, like preparing for the procession, how to dress up the deities for their procession, taking them out, and then how we are going to interact with the crowd, how we are going to distribute prasadam to them, how we are going to organize dancing processions in front of the chariot, how we are going to organize traffic control in front of the chariot. So all of this planning goes when we talk about a Rath Yatra festival. So when we are taking darshan of Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, do we ever consider that to be a festival? At least I never did, personally, till I read this particular sentence told by Krishna himself, that whenever we are taking darshan of Sri Radha and Krishna at the temple, that in itself is a celebration. That their lordships are allowing us to take darshan of their, you know, the festival of elegance that is going on around themselves. So this is such a great opportunity for us to relish. That's why Srila Prabhupada said, in the life of a Vaishnava, every day is a festival. Srila Prabhupada said this. Why he said this? It is this reason why he said this. That even when we are taking darshan of the deities, it is indeed a festival of elegance. How, you know, we should try to remember this particular thing. I personally always try to do this, that I keep practicing to remember that when I'm taking darshan, that we take darshan of each and every limb of the deities. We start from the lotus feet and we move our eyes upwards. We take darshan from bottom to the lotus face of the Lord and of their lordships. So when we do that, we should try to relate to this particular glorification of Krishna, that how he is glorifying Srimati Radharani to be so elegant. She is so chaste. She is so modest. She is so beautiful. Each and every limb of her body is so beautiful. And here Krishna is definitely talking about her modesty. So one day, what happened is that this pastime I just heard from a lecture from His Holiness Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Maharaj is describing this very beautiful pastime, that one day Srimati Radharani, she was lamenting, you know, out of her, you know, great humility. She was actually lamenting that, oh, look at me, I am so fallen. I do not deserve to be in the association of Krishna. I am actually very, very unchaste. I'm very unchaste. Radharani was, you know, lamenting like this, basically in separation from Krishna, but she was lamenting. And she was saying that, look at me, I am so fallen that I've gotten married to Abhimanyu. And I am not therefore chaste to Krishna. I have another husband. How can I be chaste to Krishna? So she was crying tears and tears of loving separation from Krishna, and she was just condoning herself like this. And she was in Javat, in her in-laws' home, and Shri Krishna was in Nandagaon. But Krishna, his heart understood the pangs of separation that Srimati Radharani was going through. And at that particular moment, what happened was Krishna was actually drinking milk from Mother Jashoda. And as soon as Krishna felt that Srimati Radharani is crying and she's really, talking in this way, Krishna could not tolerate it. And he just rolled over from the lap of Mother Jashoda, and he just closed his eyes, and he was not opening his eyes. And then Mother Jashoda started lamenting that, what did I do? Krishna is drinking my milk. And did I kill him? What happened? What happened to my baby Krishna? For a mother, babies are always babies, however big they may be. So Krishna was quite elderly at this point, but he would still take milk from Mother Jashoda. It is explained. And when, Mother Jashoda saw Krishna rolling down from her lap in this way, Mother Jashoda started lamenting. And immediately, Krishna manifested at a farther distance in the form of a very old doctor. He had a big turban, and, he was dressed as an old doctor. So that was Krishna himself. So Nanda Baba, Mother Jashoda started screaming on top of her voice that, where did Nanda Baba go? What happened to Krishna? Come here and see what happened to Krishna. So then Nanda Maharaj immediately he just ran, and he just saw this doctor was coming and walking, and then Nanda Maharaj said, oh, no, my dear doctor, my dear Vaidya, you please come, my son, he needs you. So then the doctor came, and he saw Krishna, and Krishna seeing Krishna, and he said, oh, this is a very serious matter. He is in very big trouble. But he can be revived. But if he needs to be revived, the remedy is that you have to, the cure is actually very difficult. So then Mother Jashoda and Nanda Maharaj said that, don't worry, you tell us what the remedy is. Then we will take care of it. I assure you we'll take care of it. Then the doctor said, okay, there's only one thing that can cure Krishna. And there's only one thing only. That only a perfectly chaste woman, I need her. Go and bring a perfectly chaste woman. Then I'll tell you what the cure is. Then Jashoda Mata said, no problem at all. Vrindavan is full of chaste women. I can bring anyone. Or me. I can have me. And then the doctor said, no, not you. Because he didn't want his mother to compete with Srimati Radharani. So then the doctor said, no, mother can't do this ritual. Only anyone else other than mother can actually do this ritual. So then he said, okay, I'll go and get somebody. Then, Mother Jashoda brought some ladies from Braj, and then the doctor said, okay, wonderful. So here's a clay pot, this is a water pot, and the doctor made 1,000 holes in the water pot. And he said that whoever is the most chaste, they'll have to carry water in this pot and then bring it over here from the Jamuna. They have to collect water from the Jamuna, and they have to bring it over here to Krishna and sprinkle this water on Krishna's head, and then he'll come back to consciousness. That's how he will be cured. So then, how anyone will do? All the ladies, they were shocked. A pot with 1,000 holes? So, who can do it? So then Mother Jashoda, was confused because all the ladies, they were really not capable. They said, no. How can we do? Because they really didn't have faith so much. So, and also Krishna residing in each and every one of their hearts as Paramatma didn't allow them to become inspired to do this, because he wanted Srimati Radharani to, prove to her that she is the perfectly chaste woman. So nobody came forward. The doctor actually said, so, in Vrindavan, there are only 2 chaste ladies. So then Mother Jashoda asked, who are they? Tell us, my son is in danger. So then the doctor said, they are Jatila and Kutila, the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law of Srimati Radharani. You go and bring them, and then they will, they'll be able to carry this water pot, and they'll be able to cure Krishna. So then Mother Jashoda immediately went to the house of Jatila and Kutila and explained to them what happened. So Jatila became very proud. Said, yes, see, the doctor knows that I'm so chaste. So I'll come. Yes, I'll bring my daughter too. I will come. So Jatila and Kutila came, and then they, Jatila said, no. Kutila, you don't go. Then they both started fighting that who will go. And then Kutila said, Mother, just let me go, and you don't take the trouble. I'll go and bring the water. And as soon as she went to lift the water, the pot of the water, immediately all the water dropped out. She tried once, twice, thrice, and then she gave up. She became very upset, Kutila became very upset. The sister-in-law became very upset, and Jatila became more upset. And she said, you are such an unchaste daughter of mine, and you're not worthy to be my daughter. You're a disgrace to me, disgrace to the entire family. So like this, Jatila was, abusing Kutila. Because generally, what would happen is, Jatila and Kutila would never leave an opportunity to abuse Srimati Radharani and criticize her. Of course, it was part of the pastime. We read in the Nectar of Devotion how Srila Prabhupada writes very beautifully that Jatila and Kutila, they have a very special role to play. Because Parakiya Ras, is not possible in the spiritual world. It is possible only in this material world. So Krishna has come to relish this Parakiya Ras, and Jatila Kutila actually play a very, very important role in enhancing the sweetness of this rasa. By stopping Krishna from meeting with Srimati Radharani, from, doing all these things, their intensity to meet with each other increases so much. So it is all part of Krishna's plan that Jatila and Kutila behave in such a way. But nonetheless, they would never leave an opportunity to ridicule and criticize Srimati Radharani. So Krishna wanted to teach a lesson to both of them. So therefore, right now, Jatila is actually scolding and shouting at Kutila that you go and drown yourself in the Jamuna. Otherwise, I'll only go and drown myself in the Jamuna. And then she said, okay, now, I'll go and bring water. So why 1,000 holes? Let there be millions of holes. I don't care, but I'll go and bring water from the Jamuna. So very proudly, Jatila, the mother-in-law, went into the Jamuna, and she dipped the pot, filled it up, and as she picked it up, with a heavy roaring of the sound of all the water, became completely, she had tried to lift the pot on top of her head, so she became completely drenched in water. And then she became very upset. And then she said, Jashoda, how can you even believe that anyone can carry water in a pot with so many holes in it? How is it actually possible? Jatila came and said to Mother Jashoda. And Jashoda Mata said, it's impossible to do this. Doctor, what should we do? So then Mother Jashoda, she said, seems that there is only one person in Vrindavan. Actually, that doctor said to Mother Jashoda that there is only one person And everyone said, who is it? Who is it? So then the doctor said, her name is Radhika. And Jatila and Kutila said, they started laughing. They said, Radhika? Really? No. It can't be. It can't be like this. So then, they said, okay, Mother Jashoda, she was so desperate. She said, don't worry. Since the doctor has now said, I'm ready to try anything for bringing my Krishna back to life. So then Srimati Jashoda Mata, she just went and grabbed Srimati Radharani and gave her the 1,000-hold water pot, clay pot, and said, Radhe, go to the Jamuna and please bring water for my Krishna. So then Srimati Radharani, she offered obeisances to Jashoda Mata, and then she took that 1,000-hold pot and she went down into the Jamuna, and entire Braj actually went down with her, including Jatila and Kutila. So they all came, and Srimati Radharani filled the water pot with water, and she put it on top of her head, and not a single drop was escaping from that water pot. Not a single drop. And she started walking back towards Krishna's palace, and not a single drop was falling out from that water pot. And she brought the water back into the palace of Nanda Maharaj. The doctor took the water and sprinkled it on Krishna, and Krishna immediately opened his eyes, and he said that, oh Mata, what happened, Maya? And then why there is such a big crowd? And doctor started saying that, see, this is the most chaste lady in all the three worlds. But look at this Jatila and Kutila, that they are so envious that they even find fault with this epitome of chastity, Sri Radhe. The most chaste woman in their eyes is actually unchaste. So what is going to happen to all these people? And then all the Brajbasis, they started ridiculing Jatila and Kutila, that you better start being nice to Srimati Radharani. And then Srimati Radharani was, again she became very shy, because she understood when that old doctor just gave a little wink to her, she understood that this is none other than her Shama Sundara, who has come to prove to her and to the entire world that there is nobody as chaste as Srimati Radharani in the entire creation, in all of the three worlds. So this is about the modesty and the chastity of Srimati Radharani, which was proved by Krishna himself. So we understand that how, Srimati Radharani, we should never consider that, she is in any way, of this world. It's very, very, offensive to even think like that. There's one more sweet pastime, actually, Bhakti Charu Maharaj talks about in this particular lecture. Maharaj talks about how Jatila and Kutila, how their role was so special that they would increase the intensity of love between Srimati Radharani and Sri Shama Sundara. So one day, actually Jatila and Kutila, they would always look out for opportunities to catch both of them red-handed, but they would never be able to. So one day what happened was, Krishna was sitting in the room of Srimati Radharani, and they were talking, both of them, the divine couple, they were talking. And Kutila, the sister-in-law, she actually heard Krishna's voice. And she said, I got the opportunity to catch them both red-handed. So then she started, tiptoeing her way towards Srimati Radharani's room so that, Krishna would not run away. Now, Krishna, he is so good, he is so clever that he, of course, being present in the heart as Paramatma, he could understand that Kutila is coming towards Srimati Radharani's room. So immediately, Krishna disappeared. As soon as Kutila opened the door to Srimati Radharani's room, she saw that Sri Radhe is sitting alone on her bed. And then Kutila came inside. She's looking at each and every nook and corner of the room and said, where is Krishna? I heard his voice. Was Krishna here? And then Sri Radhe said, no, nobody's here. And then Kutila was still frantically searching all over the room, but could not find Krishna. And then she saw, here, I found the proof that Krishna is here. He was here. And then she just looked, and Radharani looked, and her eyes became big. What she saw was, there was Krishna's flute lying on the bed. Krishna had forgotten to take his flute. So, Kutila just caught hold of that flute, and she caught hold of Radharani's hand and said, Mata, Mata, look. And she was calling out to Jatila and said, look, I found the proof that Krishna was in the room with Srimati Radharani. Look at this. His flute is here. And look at this girl. She's so, not nice. She's enjoying with another man. What is this? What is this? And then both Jatila and Kutila, they came out of the house and they started collecting all the people of the village of Javat, and they said, see, I always tell you that my daughter-in-law is so, not of good qualities. She is not nice at all. Look, we have the proof. Krishna has left his flute here in Radharani's room. So Srimati Radharani was feeling so distressed, so, disheartened that, Jatila and Kutila were acting like this. So Krishna immediately inspired Yogamaya in the form of Purnamasi. Purnamasi, we all know, is the elderly lady. She is the elderly lady of Brajadham. And whatever she says, nobody ever questions it. So then, immediately Purnamasi came on the scene and said, what's wrong? Why is this sweet little Sri Radhe, why is she crying pearl-like tears? From her soft cheeks, I see pearls coming down from her lotus-like eyes. Why is she crying? What's wrong with you, Jatila and Kutila? Why are you chastising this sweet little girl? And then Jatila Kutila said, look, Purnamasi, you don't believe. Look, this is the proof that Sri Krishna was in the room of Srimati Radharani. Here's his flute. Look, we have proof. And then Purnamasi just banged her head and she said, oh, Jatila and Kutila, you don't know anything. Don't you know that last night it rained flutes in the entire Vrindavan Dham? Don't you know that? Jatila Kutila said, what are you saying? What do you mean it rained flutes? He said, okay, you don't believe me? Let's go to your room. So then they first came to Kutila's room and they found one flute there. And she said, see there is one flute in your room. And said, let's go to Jatila's room. They found two flutes there. They went to each and every house in Javat. They found, in each home they found one flute. So then Purnamasi said, look, this is what it is. This is what I'm trying to tell you. That in yesterday night, it was raining flutes. So why would there not be a flute in Radhe's room? She is also part of Javat. She is also part of Brajodham. So naturally, if it has rained flutes in every home of Javat, in every room of Javat, then even in Radhe's room there is a flute. So why are you chastising her? So then Jatila and Kutila said, yeah, that is true. Oh, okay. There's flute in every, your room also there is flute? Okay. So then maybe this is some mistake. Okay, Radharani, you can go to your room. So like this, Maharaj explains that how sweet these pastimes are, that how much it increases the, it was actually after this particular pastime, that Srimati Radharani was sitting in her room and crying because Jatila and Kutila had called her unchaste. So she was crying in, firstly separation from Krishna and also from a distress, that she was really considering herself to be unchaste. And she was unchaste to Krishna, not that she was, Jatila and Kutila, they were saying that she is unchaste to Abhimanyu. But Radharani was crying tears of, guilt that she felt that she was unchaste to Krishna. And that is, the condition that we should also try to aspire for, that when we are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, when we are rendering devotional service to Krishna, when we are not able to do and live up to our vows, we should cry in this way, thinking that we are becoming unchaste to our spiritual masters. We are becoming unchaste to Srila Prabhupada. That rendering of devotional service, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is how we show that we are chaste to our spiritual masters, whether we be in a male body or a female body. Because we are all jivas, we are prakriti. We are meant to be enjoyed by Krishna. So we are all supposed to be chaste towards Guru and Krishna. And the way we show our chastity towards Guru and Krishna is by having the sincerity in our own sadhana. When we have sincerity in our own sadhana, then, we become the rightful recipients to receive the mercy flowing down from Guru and Krishna. So I will end here. If there's any questions, comments, or reflection, we can take that now. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. How old Krishna was, Mataji, when he was drinking milk from Mother Yashoda?
He was a little above 15 years old.
Krishna was still drinking milk from Mother Yashoda till that time, Mataji?
Yes.
Okay. Mataji, and that in spiritual world there is Parakya Rasa is not showing, Mataji, what relationship in Krishna and Radha. And here only that Rasa is there, spiritually.
Yes. The Parakya Ras is only an ornament, just like how there is no killing of demons in the spiritual world. The killing of demons only happens in this material world when Krishna manifests as Bhauma Leela. And the Parakya Ras, Krishna enjoys only in Bhauma Leela. He does not have Parakya Ras, because over there in the spiritual world, everyone belongs to Krishna. All the gopis, Srimati Radharani, they are all belonging to Krishna. So they don't have Parakya Ras there. There the gopis are not married. They are, having their eternal age of being 15 years old, and Krishna is 16-year-old over there. So that's what it is.
Mataji, when we read, and the spiritual world Parakya Rasa is highest, means that is telling when Krishna came at that time that Parakya Rasa was there, not other time, Mataji, not in its eternally Parakya Rasa is manifest.
See, in this particular kalpa, we are seeing the Parakya Ras. So it's not that, so Parakya Ras doesn't exist in the spiritual world. That is the thing. But it's not the first time that Krishna is enjoying Parakya Ras when he is coming here. So, we all know that in every day of Brahma, Krishna comes every day of Brahma, which is the 28th cycle of the 7th Manu. So Krishna appears during that time, and whenever Krishna appears, he enjoys Parakya Ras. So this is not the first time that he is enjoying Parakya Ras. Whenever Krishna comes down to Bhauma Leela, he enjoys Parakya Ras at that time. So that is why Parakya Ras is considered to be the highest, because it is actually the lowest and the most degrading one in the material world, and in the spiritual sense it is considered to be the highest.
Yes, Mataji, every time when Krishna comes and that's why it's eternal, that is also, no?
Yes.
Mataji, it's very nice, and you're telling how Radharani was crying, and then we should also cry for our not just with Guru and Krishna Parambara. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very, very nice point.
Thank you.
Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Okay. So, Mataji, recently I attended some local temples Rath Yatra. So during that Rath Yatra, means like not many ISKCON devotees were there. It was some local temples Rath Yatra. So I was just feeling that as we hear about the pastime of Lord Jagannath, and as you are saying that it's a celebration when we are seeing deity, so I felt that for a moment for me means it was a celebration, but later on I was engaged in like talking to other devotees and all. I was dancing for a few minutes and it was like gone for means like whole Rath Yatra. So how to imbibe that mood that we can feel that celebration till we are seeing deities? I'm asking for myself.
Yes, well, this is also for myself, and this is, as I was mentioning in the talk that, I personally have been practicing, to be in this mood also when we are taking darshan, at least when we are in the audience of the Lord, means in the presence of the Lord, that try to be with Krishna more, but then we also need to engage ourselves in the preaching mission of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj. So, we do be in the proper audience, in the proper mode of the Lord when we are in the presence of the Lord, but then we can also definitely, participate in the Rath Yatra. We can participate in the preaching, reaching out to new people, talking to them about Krishna, giving them prasadam. All that is also considered to be, taking very active role in direct deity service. So, and the other thing is that what you specifically asked about how to be in the mood, I would say that it just comes by regular practice, like even right now, at least for myself, I can say that I have to force myself to chant japa, relishing japa is way beyond, so I am still in the level that I have to, tell my mind repeatedly that yes, I have promised to my spiritual master, so I have to chant. So that is the way we need to do it, It's not that it will come overnight, but at the same time, the more we are conscious about the fact, the more quicker the effect will come. Just like how Srila Prabhupada said that when we promise to the spiritual master during initiation, we don't say that we will chant attentively 16 rounds. We just say that we will chant 16 rounds. Because attentive chanting is something that we keep working on, So when we try to, Srila Prabhupada always says that when the mind goes away, it is bound to go away. It is natural for the mind to go away, Srila Prabhupada says. But how much are we trying to bring it back towards focusing on hearing the holy name? That is what Krishna is seeing, the effort that we are trying to put in. And Prabhupada gives the analogy that when a little child is just learning how to walk, they fall down 1,000 times. But they also get up 1,000 times. They don't remain in the fallen condition. So that's what Srila Prabhupada says, that you fall down 1,000 times, but you get up also 1,000 times. Don't remain in that fallen condition. So whenever we realize that, we are in this mood, we are supposed to be in this mood when we are taking darshan of the deities, consciously trying to remember it, by practicing to remember it. And when Krishna sees that sincerity, he benedicts us by rewarding us, with that mood. So it is up to us how much we are practicing it and how much we are being conscious about it, basically. So does that help in answering your question?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautiful analogy and your answer. Thank you for that. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Very beautiful question. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, you said Krishna was 15 years old that time. So what was the age when he was left Vrindavan?
This particular pastime, it actually mentions that Krishna was 15 years old. And Srimati Bhakti Maharaj mentions this, but this point came to my mind also, that what I have heard, or what's said in Krishna book is, I think 11 years Krishna left Vrindavan with Akrura to go to Mathura, and so that's a little confusion even for me, because this one was talked about by Maharaj, and that's why I said 15, because that's what Maharaj said. But it's a point that came to my mind also, because I think, if I remember correctly, it is 11 when Krishna left for Mathura, because Krishna killed Kamsa when he was 11. And so that's what it is. But these pastimes, it's not happening in one kalpa. I took it in this way, that it's not just happening in this particular kalpa. These pastimes are eternally going on. So maybe in one particular pastime, because Maharaj mentioned it, so the way I took it is that maybe in a different pastime, in a different kalpa, that Krishna was 15 years old during this pastime, and, he manifested it in this way. That's how I take it. Does that make sense?
Yes, Mataji. What I heard somewhere, like sometimes even Krishna is a baby and he is with Radharani, he will become youth.
Yeah.
So means for others he was like a baby, but for Radharani he was again 15 years old.
Yes. So all these transcendental things with Krishna, and so that's how we understand it. We take it at the face value.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.